Good afternoon to you. Mark Sudduth, HurricaneTrack.com here with your weekly version of the Hurricane Pro and HD Hurricane video blog for the 18th of November, the week of 18th of November 2013. And guess what? We have subtropical storm Melissa out here over the central Atlantic Ocean, almost as middle of the Atlantic Ocean as you can get. What makes it subtropical? Dr. Jack Bevan from the National Hurricane Center put it very wisely on a Facebook post that I saw. Think of it as a mixed drink. You have tropical characteristics and mid-latitude winter storm subtropical characteristics. In other words, you get these tropical cyclones that form down here in the deep tropics that are warm core. Their winds are focused around a common center of low pressure. The energy is tightly bundled in most cases. Then you have these mid-latitude systems that form up here in the subtropics, and they look more like commas instead of round. I mean, you remember that super typhoon. That was about as round as you can get, with the eye perfectly in the middle of the deep convection. Well, if we take a look at a satellite picture of Melissa this afternoon, you can clearly see that it looks much more like a comma shape. So let's go into the long visible loop and you'll see what I'm talking about. Though it is starting to shed that comma shape to it and develop deep convection around the center, it still has sort of that large comma shape overall to it. So that's what makes it more subtropical than tropical. Some dry air still sliding in here on the east side, but the deep convection trying to wrap around the low pressure center here in the middle. And I think within the next 24 to 36 hours, this will make the transition fully tropical. And it could be that this will eventually become a hurricane. It wouldn't surprise me. It is sitting over water temperatures that are just warm enough. Melissa located in this area right over here. And the water temperatures, this is the 26 degrees Celsius isotherm, or line of equal temperature right through here. 26 Celsius or about 79 Fahrenheit. So it's sitting over water that is just warm enough to support development. And even as it moves north over a little bit cooler water, I think the upper level conditions will be ideal enough that this very well could be a hurricane. And it's not going to be surprising to me if this becomes the season's strongest hurricane. It just has that look to it that once all systems are go for this to really develop as it moves to the north and then eventually northeast here before it gets over the really colder water up here, I bet it becomes the season's strongest hurricane. It wouldn't surprise me. 90, 100 miles per hour wouldn't surprise me at all. We'll see. How rare is it? Well, it's interesting. I wanted to point this out. Melissa currently located about in, let's see, in this area right in here. And as you can see, there's only one other origin point in the past 100 years where something developed almost in that exact same spot. So it's not completely without precedence that something develops out here, but it's pretty rare over the past 100 years to get any development in November, much less in the subtropics like that with only one little spot there. Real quick, going back to the satellite picture and then the Hurricane Center's homepage, I wanted to show you the track just to, I guess, make the point that Melissa will not be affecting land. Here is the 5-day forecast track. There we go. Maybe curving up towards Greenland over time, but the water temperature is way up here in the far North Atlantic. Too warm, and it'll transition back into a large extratropical cyclone where it looks much more like a comma shape than what's coming up. So an interesting complex situation with Melissa. Subtropical in nature now, transitioning over to tropical, and it may be a hurricane, and I think it could be the season's strongest hurricane. We'll see about that. We'll check and see what happens with it. Other than that, the tropics are quiet, and that includes the eastern Pacific, and that is good to see. All right, well, you are up to date for the tropics on this 18th day of November and for the week ahead. If anything interesting changes with Melissa, I might post another video just to keep you up to date. Look for that maybe on Wednesday. Otherwise, I'll talk to you a week from today. Again, I am Mark Sudduth for HurricaneTrack.com and, of course, for Hurricane Pro and HD. If I don't speak at you later in the week regarding Melissa, I'll definitely be back next Monday.